Welcome to the wildest experiment I've ever attempted, letting you, my viewers, control every move I make in a game. This wasn't just about playing for fun or showing off my skills. This was about giving up control entirely, putting my fate in the hands of thousands of people watching live, and seeing what kind of madness would unfold. I wanted to see what would happen if I became nothing more than a character in your story, a puppet for your wildest ideas. Instead of playing solo or with friends, I handed over all decisions to Team TDM through live polls. Every few minutes a new poll would pop up and you'd get to decide my next move. Should I charge into battle, run away, or do something completely ridiculous? The power was all yours, and I had to follow along no matter how wild or unexpected your choices were. Every action, jumping, fighting, talking, was dictated by your votes. If you wanted me to leap off a cliff, I had to do it. If you wanted me to try and befriend the enemy, I had to give it a shot. The game became a playground for your creativity, and I was just along for the ride, reacting in real time to whatever you threw at me. The idea started as a joke, honestly. I was chatting with some friends about how unpredictable my streams can get, and someone said, "What if you just let chat play for you?" At first I laughed it off, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much fun it could be to let thousands of people take the wheel. It was a little scary, but that's what made it so tempting. Would it be genius teamwork or total chaos? I was betting on chaos, and that's what made it exciting. I imagined the possibilities. Maybe you'd work together and pull off something incredible. Or maybe you'd just try to make me fail in the funniest ways possible. Either way, I knew it would be unforgettable, and I couldn't wait to see what you'd come up with. I announced the plan for one live stream. I'd be your puppet, following your commands no matter how ridiculous. I told everyone, "You're in charge. I'll do whatever you say as long as it's possible in the game." The chat exploded with excitement, and I could feel the energy building even before we started. The response was instant. Suggestions poured in, ranging from swim in lava to give your best weapon to a slime. Some of the ideas were hilarious, some were downright evil, and a few were so creative I never would have thought of them myself. It was clear that you all were ready to push the limits and see just how far you could take this experiment. I started reading through the chat, and honestly, I couldn't stop laughing. There were so many wild ideas, some that would definitely get me in trouble in-game, and others that were just pure chaos. It was like opening a box of surprises, never knowing what would come next. As I set up, excitement and dread mixed. I knew this would be a story we'd write together, full of epic fails and hilarious moments. I double-checked my gear, made sure the polls were working, and tried to mentally prepare myself for whatever you might throw at me. My heart was pounding, but I was ready to dive in. I looked into the camera, took a deep breath, and declared the experiment open. This was it, the moment of truth. I had no idea what was about to happen, but I knew it would be something special. I was about to give up control and let the internet decide my fate. My fate was in your hands. Let the chaos begin. And as soon as the first poll went live, I realized just how unpredictable this journey would be. Every second was a surprise, every choice a new adventure. This was more than just a stream, it was a wild ride we'd never forget. Before diving in, we needed rules. Not just any rules, but the kind that would keep things fair, unpredictable, and most importantly, fun for everyone involved. After all, when you invite chaos into your game, you need a little structure to keep it from turning into total mayhem. So we set the stage with a few simple guidelines that would shape every twist and turn of our adventure. The game, a classic fantasy RPG brimming with dragons, dungeons, and all the wild, unpredictable moments you could hope for. Every corner promised danger or delight, and every decision could lead to glory or disaster. It was the perfect playground for a crowd hungry for adventure and mischief. The goal was simple on paper: retrieve a legendary artifact from a heavily guarded fortress. But anyone who's played these games knows that simple rarely means easy. The fortress was rumored to be filled with traps, puzzles, and enemies that would test even the bravest heroes. Success would require teamwork, quick thinking, and maybe a little luck. At every major decision point, I'd slam the brakes, pause the game, and throw the next move to you, the viewers. A poll would pop up with 4 options: fight, run, do something silly, or try the unexpected. Each choice could send us down a completely different path, and sometimes the most ridiculous option led to the most memorable moments. You had 60 seconds to cast your vote. That's right. Just 1 minute to debate, argue, and rally your fellow viewers behind your favorite plan. Once the timer hit 0, whatever option had the most votes became our destiny. No vetoes, no second chances, and definitely no hints from me. It was pure, unfiltered crowd control, and I was just along for the ride. I wouldn't offer advice or steer you towards smart moves. The outcome was all on you. My job was to follow your lead, no matter how wild or questionable the decision. If you wanted to charge headfirst into a dragon's lair with nothing but a loaf of bread, I'd do it. No questions asked. If we won, you'd get the glory. The victory would be yours to celebrate, and every clever move or lucky break would be a testament to your collective genius. If we failed, well, at least we'd laugh. Every defeat was a chance to share a joke, a meme, or a story about how things went hilariously off the rails. Sometimes, the best memories came from our most spectacular failures. The chat exploded with alliances, sabotage, and wild plans. Some viewers schemed to help the hero, while others plotted chaos just for the fun of it. The energy was electric, and every poll felt like a mini-battle between order and anarchy. It felt like live improv theater, no script, just chaos. Every moment was unpredictable, and I never knew what you'd throw at me next. The only guarantee was that things would never go according to plan, and that was exactly how we liked it. The first poll was about to go live, and our hero's fate was in your hands. Would you play it safe, or would you embrace the chaos? One thing was certain, whatever happened next, it would be unforgettable. Our journey began in Oakvale, where the first poll asked, talk to the elder, punch a chicken, climb the tavern or sell my sword. Sensible choices lasted seconds before punch a chicken surged ahead. So my armored hero's first act? Smacking a chicken. The village guards instantly turned hostile, red icons everywhere, swords drawn. We hadn't even started the quest and were already public enemy number one. The chat erupted in laughter as I ran from guards, chicken squawks echoing behind me. This set the tone, you weren't here to play it safe. Every poll became a chance to push boundaries and embrace absurdity. I realized this would be the most unpredictable session ever. The quest could wait. First, we had to survive Oakvale's wrath, all thanks to your first command. After escaping Oakvale, thanks to a viewer-commanded leap into a well, we reached the dragon's lair. The plan: sneak past the sleeping dragon and grab the artifact. The poll: sneak, create a diversion, or charge in screaming. Of course you chose chaos. Charge in, yelling. The dragon woke, roared, and the boss fight began, completely unprepared. Next poll: attack, hide, or use my best healing potion. On the dragon. You voted to heal the dragon. I watched in disbelief as I restored its health, making things even worse. The dragon, now healthier, blasted fire at me. We'd turned a stealth mission into a disaster, helping the boss instead of beating it. It was pure, viewer-driven sabotage. This was internet-controlled gaming at its finest. Against all odds, we escaped with the Sunstone and earned a powerful diamond sword. Standing on a rope bridge over a chasm, I posted a pole cross carefully, equipped the sword, dance, or drop the sword into the abyss. I prayed for reason, but the chat rallied behind drop the sword. The votes surged, D for diamond, D for drop. I watched in horror as our best weapon tumbled into darkness. The chat exploded, half groaning, half cheering. We just made the game infinitely harder, all for a laugh. The ultimate act of self-sabotage, orchestrated by you. Our journey was now a true test of survival. The Sunstone in hand, but our best tool gone forever. All because you could. With only a rusty sword left, we faced the final boss, Sir Reginald the Ruthless. The pole fight, reason, throw the Sunstone, or run in circles. To my shock, you chose to throw the Sunstone. I hurled it at Reginald, expecting disaster. Instead, the artifact exploded in golden light. Turns out he was weak to it. His health bar melted away, and he disintegrated in seconds. The chat went wild, no one saw it coming. We'd stumbled onto a secret win, not by skill, but by a random, hilarious choice. It was a 1 in a million shot, a perfect accident. Sometimes, the silliest option is secretly genius. We won, against all odds and all logic. One character suffered most from your chaos. Bartholomew, the harmless merchant. Every time we met him, the poll was the same: punch Bartholomew. It became a running gag. Market, mountain, dungeon, didn't matter. He'd see us coming and run, traumatized by our presence. The chat loved it, turning a nobody NPC into a central figure. The highlights: sneaking into the final fortress, finding Bartholomew as a janitor, and chasing him around the kitchen before landing the punch. He became our comic relief, our rival, our victim. Through your choices, he became a legend in our story. It's proof that interactive gaming creates its own unexpected narratives. Poor Bartholomew. He never stood a chance. The adventure wouldn't have been the same without him. Sometimes the best stories are the ones you invent together. As the stream ended and the chat finally slowed, I found myself sitting back and really thinking about everything we'd just experienced together. It wasn't just another gaming session. It was a wild experiment in what happens when you let thousands of people steer the ship and you willingly hand over the wheel. Give thousands of people a choice, and they'll always pick chaos, and that's what made it great. The chat was a living, breathing thing, constantly shifting the direction of the game, sometimes in ways I never could have predicted. Every poll, every suggestion, every emoji spam was like a new roll of the dice. This wasn't about winning, it was about making the most entertaining story possible. The real victory was in the laughter, the gasps, and the collective "did that just happen?" moments that filled the stream. We weren't chasing high scores, we were chasing memories. Letting go of control was scary, but it led to moments I could never have scripted. There's something thrilling about not knowing what's coming next, about being just as surprised as everyone watching. It's a reminder that sometimes, the best parts of any adventure are the ones you don't plan for. It was a lesson in improvisation and finding fun in failure. Every time things went off the rails, we found a way to turn it into a joke, a meme, or a new challenge. Instead of frustration, there was this sense of shared resilience, like, okay, that didn't work, but what if we try this? The real magic was the sense of community, everyone working together or against me to shape the adventure. It didn't matter if you were a seasoned gamer or just dropping in for the chaos, everyone had a voice and every voice mattered. The chat became a character in the story, unpredictable and full of personality. We weren't just playing a game, we were creating a story as a team. Every decision, every twist, every unexpected turn was a product of our collective imagination. It was like improv theater, but with pixels and power-ups. The best moments were the unexpected ones, the mistakes, the twists, the accidental victories. Those are the stories we'll remember, the ones we'll laugh about in the next stream, the ones that make this kind of chaos so addictive. Chaos wasn't a bug, it was the main feature. It was the spark that kept everyone engaged, the thing that made every second feel fresh and alive. Without it, the stream would have been just another playthrough. Sometimes the best way to play is to throw out the rulebook and see what happens. That's where the real fun begins, when you stop worrying about the outcome and just enjoy the ride together. And so, our first viewer-controlled experiment ended, a wild ride of fails, wins, and unforgettable moments. But this is just the beginning. I want you to help plan the next adventure, bigger, crazier, and even more unpredictable. Should we try a horror game, a city builder, something totally different? Leave your wildest ideas in the comments, no suggestion is too out there. Want to control my character's look, my dialogue, my weapons? Let's make it happen. I'll read every comment to find the next great chaos challenge. Thanks for being the best puppet masters ever. I can't wait to see what trouble you get me into next. Get ready for round 2 of viewer-controlled chaos. See you next time.